Mr. Speaker, will you please call the House to order?
The House will come to order. In the absence of clergy, let us pause for a moment of silence. Visitors are invited to join the members in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. A quorum being present, clerk will read the journal of Thursday, June 16th. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move to dispense with the further reading of the journal of Thursday, June 16th, and that the same stand approved.
Without objection, so ordered. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, good morning, Mr. Speaker. Good morning, colleagues. Like the Cavaliers, we have pushed this to Game 7, but in that there is finality. So I'm sure there are probably other more apt analogies, but you get the idea. Before I give our schedule for what will be yet another busy day and hopefully the final day of the legislative calendar, let me just note that June 7th had some interesting things happen in history. On this day in 1837, Charles Goodyear received his first patent on rubber, and obviously he would use that to build a very large tire company. On this day in 1928, the famous pioneer pilot Amelia Earhart became the first woman passenger to fly over the Atlantic on a plane piloted by Wilmer Stutz. And on this day in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City. The gift of the people of France to America is recognized as a universal symbol of freedom and democracy, engraved with the famous poem from Emma Lazarus, "Give me your tired, your poor, your huddled masses yearning to breathe free." And we should keep that perhaps as a little context for our work today. Today we will have, as I said, a busy day. I want to again thank my colleagues for their cooperation, and particularly note Ms. Corwin and Mr. McKevitt for their great help in getting through a large body of work yesterday. Much work remains. Members have on their desks a main calendar. After introductions to housekeeping, we will be taking up a resolution honoring the life of Muhammad Ali, a privileged resolution, and we will continue then on consent. We have just a handful of bills to consent on the calendar. We left off yesterday with 508. We'll do that through 512. Then we will work on the calendar at some point, hopefully in the not too distant future. We will be calling a committee on rules, and that will produce a calendar. We may have additional meetings off the floor, and obviously we will make those announcements from the desks. Members on both sides of the aisle should be prepared for party conferences at some point today as well. So with that, sir, if there's any housekeeping or introductions, it would be hard to imagine we're introducing people since we weren't supposed to be here, but you never know. Mr. Santa Barbara I don't see in the chamber, so perhaps...
I think that he's on State Street trying to drag somebody in.
Actually, it occurs to me we may have introduced everyone in his district, so... But without that, without introductions or housekeeping, I'd like you to take up the resolution on Muhammad Ali, and I know that Mr. Perry and others may wish to speak to it.
Clerk will read.
Resolution number 1586. Mr. Perry, legislative resolution celebrating the legendary life and accomplishments of Muhammad Ali, three-time world heavyweight boxing champion.
Mr. Perry, on the resolution.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I rise today with deep sadness to express our sincere condolences to the bereaved family and to join the voices of billions of people around the world, mostly in the United States of America, who, while mourning the passing of the greatest, Muhammad Ali, also celebrate his life and his many accomplishments. Named Cassius Clay at birth, this phenomenally gifted and talented child discovered his purpose when he began boxing at the young age of 12. 105 fights later, including 6 Golden Gloves titles, a national title, and a 1960 Olympic gold medal, he began his professional boxing career. At the age of 22 years old, he defeated Sonny Liston by KO to win the undisputed world heavyweight title. This popular world champion shocked America and the world when he announced his conversion to the Muslim religion, taking on the new name of Muhammad Ali. While known as a champion boxer, the scope of Muhammad Ali's work was felt far beyond the ring ropes. At a time when in our country, when African Americans were often trying to simply go unnoticed and not end up on the wrong end of the riot officer's baton or fire hose, Muhammad Ali spoke for a generation who were too often too scared to speak for themselves. He said, "Notice us. We do matter. And perhaps more importantly, we can be great." He showed a nation that no matter how many times you knock a people down, they can and will get up and even fight back, as he did so well. Perhaps his biggest knockout came not inside the boxing ring, but in 1967, when he shocked the world again and he stood up and declared himself a conscientious objector and refused induction in the United States Army, in the United States Armed Forces. He said, "I ain't got no quarrel with the Viet Cong," and he refused to join a senseless war and became one of over 50,000 Americans. Ali refused to join the senseless war and ended up to become one of the over 50,000 Americans who died in this conflict. As a result, he was stripped of his license to box, his title, and his American passport. Through this act of great defiance, Ali became a symbol of pride, not only for African Americans, but for all Americans with a sense of right and wrong. Ali was truly a patriot. I leave you with a quote from the greatest, and one that we in this House often have to live by, on behalf of all those who we represent here. "He who is not courageous," I quote, "he who is not courageous enough to take risk will accomplish nothing in life." So as we endeavor to do our duties here, representing the people, Mr. Speaker, we should reflect on that and not be scared, but undaunted by the challenges and take the risk that will take us to a better place. Ali took great risk, and we all benefit from it. Thank you, Champ. Rest in peace. You have heard your seat in heaven. I ask my colleagues to join me in adopting this resolution. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Mr. Barron, same resolution.
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Mr. Muhammad Ali, we sure do miss you. Muhammad Ali was one of the greatest in the ring and outside of the ring. Sometimes you can be a champ in the ring and a chump outside of the ring because you don't take on issues that affect human life. But Muhammad Ali did some of the greatest things outside of the ring that most athletes won't do now because they're too caught up in money and fame and fortune. But Muhammad Ali showed boxers and showed basketball players there's something greater than playing ball, and that is being a man, a strong black man. Muhammad Ali was a man of his times. It was a time of black power. The Black Panther Party rose up, this being the 50th anniversary of the Black Panther Party. Muhammad Ali was affected by the Black Panther Party. And he went from Cassius Clay to Muhammad Ali because of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and the Nation of Islam, when he saw that they stood up against racism and told black people, do for self. If the system is so racist and they don't want to take care of you, well, take care of yourself. And he joined the Nation of Islam. They wanted Sonny Liston, a thug, may he rest in peace, to beat Muhammad Ali because Muhammad Ali became a Muslim. Now that's deep, that you want a gangster to beat a religious man just because he chose a black-based religion. Muhammad Ali suffered 3 years, the best 3 years of his life, because he refused to fight an imperialistic war. He really said, the Vietnamese never called me the N-word, you did. So if I'm going to fight somewhere and die somewhere, I'm going to fight you right here in America against the racism that has affected me. We loved Muhammad Ali because we had too many athletes. As soon as they would get in the ring, they would don the American flag and forget about their own people. We had too many great athletes, and I won't name them so we don't come down on people today, but leave Muhammad Ali lifted up. We had boxers that would just be so welcome to go fight for the system, fight for a country that denied them. We just had the Tuskegee Airmen here who couldn't even get jobs when they came back after fighting for this nation. Well, Muhammad Ali stood up to all of that. And he came up in a time where black consciousness was rich. James Brown had to say it loud, I'm black and I'm proud, because there was a black cultural movement teaching us who we were. And Muhammad Ali embraced that. He embraced athletes like Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, formerly known as Lou Alcindor, and Jim Brown, a strong, conscious black athletes, not athletes that put more into ball and the things that they can gain materialistically, but he was one who sacrificed his life for his people. So when we honor Muhammad Ali, we honor the best in us. And he was funny. Howard Cosell tried to trick him up with a big word. He was not intimidated by that. He said, Howard did, Ali, you're a real truculent person, aren't you? He said, whatever truculent is, if it's good, I'm truculent. Move out of my way, Howard. Then he said, Muhammad Ali, they say that you're not the fighter you used to be. He said, well, I talked to your wife last night, and she said, you're not the man you used to be. Muhammad Ali said, I'm so quick, when I turn out the light in the room, I get in the bed before the room gets dark. He said, I'm so strong, I made medicine weak, and I made a rock cry. He used to talk that talk, and we needed to hear it. So when Muhammad Ali says, I am the greatest, he's talking about us, black people, first people on the planet. When he says, I'm pretty, he's not talking about Joe Morelli, he's talking about us. So Muhammad Ali was the greatest of all time. He was a personality in history that we'll never see again. The most famous man on the planet Earth was Muhammad Ali, and he stood up like a man of principle. For that, Muhammad Ali, we love you, we miss you. May you rest in peace for a job well done.
Mr. Morelli, on the resolution.
Yes, thank you, sir. I do not want equal time with Mr. Barron. His eloquence was inspiring. Thank you. I just wanted to say a word. I had an opportunity to meet Muhammad Ali many years ago, and I had been a huge fan, and he had been already afflicted by Parkinson's and was unable to speak, but you could just sense his spirit, the amazing person he was. You wanted to be close to him. And I just share one little story that I thought spoke volumes about the kind of person he was. A young woman at the event came to him, a young girl, handed him a baseball and asked him to sign it. And he really had great difficulty just moving at that point. And he spent what seemed like 10 minutes working at that, and he would not stop until he finished that signature to give to that little girl. And I thought not only did that speak of his determination and drive in the ring, you could tell why he was such an amazing champion, but spoke volumes about the kind of person that he was and his determination. And I could not match the eloquence of the previous speakers, but he was an extraordinary individual, extraordinary person, far beyond, as Mr. Barron has said, his prowess in the ring was just the amazing human being that he was. He was literally a citizen of the world, and may his soul rest in peace.
On the resolution, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, no. The resolution is adopted. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. If we could, we have a couple of bills to consent. We could start on Rules Report 508 on page 19 of the main calendar. It's by Ms. Schimmel.
Clerk will read.
Assembly 7231A, Calendar 500. Assembly 10604, Rules Report 508, Committee on Rules, an act to authorize the Village of Plandome Manor to enter into a contract to sell or pledge as collateral for a loan.
On a motion by Ms. Schimmel, the Senate bill is before the House. The Senate bill is advanced. Home rule message is at the desk. Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. First vote of the day. Mr. Morelli.
Yes, apparently I misspoke yesterday in saying it was the last first vote of the day. I assure people it's at least the last first vote of today. So I would really be quite happy if people would cast their votes, and those who are not in the chamber should certainly make their way so they can participate in our first vote of the day.
First vote of the day. Members, come join us and have some fun. Are there any other votes? Announce the results.
Ayes 83, noes 4.
The bill is passed. Mr. Morelli.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for allowing an introduction of two very, very, very special guests. Not strangers to our chamber, certainly, but our dear friend Denny Farrell's wife, Barbara, is here, and what I consider probably the smartest 11-year-old I've ever met, Sophie, is here. But then again, she was the smartest 10-year-old last year. She is going into 6th grade, and she's going to spend this summer, she tells me, going to a day camp called World of Discovery. And she is not only beautiful and smart, but has amazing poise for an 11-year-old. We're always delighted to have Denny's family here. If you could please extend the cordialities of the house to our great friends.
Certainly, on behalf of your Mr. Farrell, Mr. Morelli, the Speaker, and all the members, we welcome you both here to the New York State Assembly. No strangers to this House. You're extending the privileges of the floor. We are always pleased to see that you're here and happy that you're going to be able to make sure Denny gets a little rest this summer. Thank you so very much. He deserves it, truly does deserve it. Thank you.
Assembly 10,651, Rules Report 509, Committee on Rules, an act to amend the real property tax law.
On a motion by Mr. Bronstein, the Senate bill is before the House. The Senate bill is advanced. Read the last section.
This act shall take effect immediately.
Clerk will record the vote. Mr. Bronstein to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. To explain my vote, in 2013, this House, after an agreement with the Senate, the Governor's Office, and the City of New York, passed an omnibus housing bill that had many components. One of the components was that we changed the eligibility threshold for the J51 program from 40 assessed value to 30 assessed value, which lowered the assessment value for co-ops and condos that could apply for the J51 Capital Improvements Tax Abatement Program. At that time, many co-ops still were included in the program, so it wasn't such a concern. But over time, as assessments continue to rise, more and more co-op units have fallen out of the program. This bill would increase the assessment value from 30 to 32 and tie it to an index so it'll keep increasing over the years to keep units from falling out of the program. I appreciate the cooperation of the City of New York for helping us with this bill. It will have a fiscal impact on the City of New York, but it will also help middle-class families continue to be able to afford their homes as capital improvements will receive a tax abatement. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Kearns? Mr. Dendecker to explain his vote.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to thank the sponsor of this bill. This is an issue he's been diligently working on for quite some time. The protection of our middle class and the co-op owners in both of our districts and many of the districts in Queens is essential to keep those families in those units. So I'd really like to just really thank the sponsor. He's been doing so much work on this issue. And to my colleague, Mr. Bronstein, you're a very good worker. Thank you very much.
Mr. Dendecker in the affirmative.